Yeah, the whole thing with Michigan is, it's happening. And I think it happened fast. And I'm curious where this is going to go. I know that Michigan is going to appeal this. Will Harbaugh be in the sidelines today? I didn't know that Portnoy from Barstool, who I loathe Barstool, but Portnoy brought up a good point that they did not interview Stallions. The NCAA has not, or the Big Ten, and you would think that would be the guy, and he would say that he did it without the program knowing. I still find it hard to believe that Harbaugh didn't know what was going on, but maybe that's just me. But that's what I felt. And I talked to Michigan. Michigan is a friend, well, Lisa and Milton. Milton is a huge, he went to Michigan too. They actually went to the game yesterday at Youngstown State. The basketball team won by 30, and he said he's available today, probably after the game. And I'd like to get his perspective because he is a longtime fan. And I feel like you're poking the bear. That's what I feel like. All the fans, all the Buckeye fans, Michigan's cousin put that now the two wins are vacated. That they beat the last 2 years because they stole signs. Everybody steals signs, and Stallions wasn't there to do that shit. But he's a Michigan fan, and he actually reached out to me. I said, "Love to have him on the show," but he works for a big media company, and I don't think he'll be able to be on the show because they won't let. And I really didn't even want him on. I mean, I really want to talk about his fandom with. He went to Ohio State. I think he's a huge Colts fan. He has interesting sports alliances. Like I always find it's interesting that people like live in the East Coast and they grew up in New York and they're all Boston fans, or they're all like, well, I knew a kid, Duddy, that we grew up with, and he had, I think there were five brothers, and they all had to pick teams out of a hat. And he got the Packers, Jared. His brother, Chris, got the Colts. Am I correct? And they all got different teams. And I think so. The youngest got to pick his team. From there, they didn't want any fighting, so every kid had to pick his team, which I always thought was interesting. But I grew up a Cowboy fan when they were on TV all the time. Roger Staubach was like a hero to me. But someone posted that Harbaugh has more suspensions now than bowl victories at Michigan. He's only won one bowl game at Michigan, the 2016 Citrus Bowl, 41-7 over Florida. Does that mean anything? But I feel this team is so locked in, Michigan, that I don't think it's going to matter what's going on outside the program. Inside the program, that team is ready. They don't give a shit about the chat. Actually, I think they're using it as a huge motivation. And then they put this thing bet, and I was like, what the hell is bet? What does bet mean? And I was like, I asked Michigan. Michigan didn't know. I said, well, I got to look this up because I was like, I don't know what bet means. So I looked up on it's slang. Yeah, it's a slang thing. Where do I have it? Yeah. I'm trying to find it, of course. Oh yeah, and did you see the Manny Diaz troll Michigan by? They were all doing a hype video, and he just used his hands for be loud, be there, yeah, but with hand signals. Yeah, use his message to be loud, early and loud, but he used the time and the ear thing, and I was like, oh, okay, you're gonna play that way, so okay, yeah. So they all wrote bet. And of course, I can't find where trying to find out where it means basically, slang for cool, let's go. That's what basically it means. J.J. McCarthy, Tom Brady, right guard Zach Zinter, defensive tackle Chris Jenkins, all posted with bet. And then I saw someone put, and I was really reading into literally where that now they're dealing with a gambling thing at Michigan, but it was bet. He goes, cool, let's go. Which they're ready. I mean, they're locked in. This isn't like, okay, coach. And the thing is now they said that Harbaugh can coach during the week, but can't be on the sidelines. Like what the? Oh, wait. So wait, I can't be at the games, but I can coach them all week. How's that? That's a suspension? And it seemed like it happened really, really fast where they didn't really get all the information. But this, Petitti, whatever his name is, the commissioner of Big Ten is acting like a douchebag. I think he's just jumping the gun, as they always. And there's all this hate toward Michigan. Oh, every team steals fucking signs. You know what? We had the same shit with, the Astros and the Yankees with the Apple Watches in baseball. You don't think every goddamn sport it's done? And this guy kind of seemed like Stallion seemed like he was a lone wolf. He sounded like he was a military guy, always went to work with Michigan. he had this theorem, whatever, that kids, what he said, the GPA, higher GPA, that they wouldn't play as hard. He had this whole thing that I talked about previously, this whole system where you wanted kids good kids that were good test takers, harder football players with higher GPAs that wouldn't play as hard. And he had this whole, he wanted to get out to everybody. So, and he had this, like, he sign stealing thing. And he could have went on his own. I mean, coaches knew about it. How did it not get to Harbaugh? That's the only thing. How did Harbaugh not know what was going on? That's the thing that I keep thinking about. Like, he had to know. He had to know. And I feel like this day and age, just come clean. We'll never know. I mean, also, Harbaugh went to school here. He was his mentor was Bo Schembechler, who is considered the greatest. A lot of bad shit happened while he was at the program. The doctor that was kind of pushed under. And that's kind of, that was disgusting that went through. But he was a god here. He was a god in Ann Arbor. And Harbaugh takes over for the school he played for. And they keep saying he's going to leave. Go. You want to go? I think the program is a good place. I think they're going to have, I hope they're not going to make the same mistakes going forward. But, these kids are going pro. I think the kids are going to play hard. And I feel that, especially after losing in the playoff last year, they're locked in. And they're poking the bear. And the Buckeye fans are thinking, well, if you lose the third time again, what's going to be your excuse? And they got help last year. People allegedly, Rutgers and Purdue were helping teams, helping their Michigan opponents with all that stuff. Yeah, time will tell. I read a lot of stuff about this, and I was like, nah, come on, dude. There's all this stuff, Oh, and they also could go after them for more, they said. They may impose additional, this is from Nicole Auerbach, additional disciplinary actions as more information is received. The scope, the evidence, the scope. Like they said, the commissioner said this is the worst scandal ever in Big Ten history. I think some other shit has happened that this is worse. Sign stealing. Really? It happens in every sport. You're really saying this is the biggest thing that's happened? The biggest, and you're having the new programs come in, and is everybody going to look at Michigan? Everybody's doing it. They got caught. Kind of like the Astros got caught. Yeah. And what did it say here? This discipline shall not preclude from having its head football coach attend practices or team activities. We oppose this disciplinary action, even though the conference has not yet received any information indicating that Harbaugh was aware of the impermissible nature of the sign. So why is he, if they don't have any information, don't you have to wait till, innocent until proven guilty? I call bullshit on that one. This is not a sanction of Coach Harbaugh. It is a sanction against the university under extraordinary circumstances. They write this bolt, the legalese presented by the offensive conduct best fits the violation because it preserves the ability of the university's football student athletes to continue to compete. I love they always say student athletes. They're athlete students. And it recognizes that the head coach embodies the university for purposes. So that's why they went after it. Even though they don't have all the information, that's what they're doing. And Michigan has the second best odds right now to win a national championship, only behind Georgia. And law professor Daniel Crane arguing in the Yale Journal of Regulation that NCAA bylaws prohibiting advanced scouting violate antitrust laws. Okay. Yes, and Michigan has yesterday filed a temporary restraining order, and the team in Harbaugh found out as they landed in Happy Valley. And it will seek a court order to fight a decision. So I guess we're going to see what happens. We'll see what happens on the sidelines. Yeah, and Sammy put down legacy at Michigan 0-5 versus Ohio State, 2 vacated. I was like, dude, you can't vacate wins. And, please. And Stallions wasn't, please. 0 Big Ten titles, 2 vacated, 0 national championships, 1-6 in bowl games, multiple. I'm like, come on. I thought that was hilarious. I just thought that was really funny. Yeah. Tony Petitti reacted to pressure from other conference members rather than a desire to apply the rules for Michigan. I don't disagree on that one. It's supposed to be a fair, deliberate, and thoughtful process. Yeah. Disregards the conference's own handbook. I totally agree with that. If they haven't actually, they're fully cooperating, hasty decision to say the least. Yeah. And also doing it on a Veterans Day, a court holiday, to try to thwart the university from seeking immediate judicial relief is hardly a profile in impartiality. They're trying to keep out of the game. They are. So Michigan.